Hello everyone, it's Charlton, please subscribe to my channel, tap that notification bell, and like this video. It does help me keep making videos. I would appreciate it majorly. So I want to update you on the situation in Libya, which continues to get worse. So the latest news from Al Jazeera is that the only operational airport, which is called Mitiga International Airport, which is a civilian airport in the eastern part of Tripoli, has been shut down, at least for the time being, because of air raids. That's what they call it. I'm assuming that's the same thing as airstrikes from General Khalifa Haftar, who apparently has, aircraft. I think they're very crude in nature on both sides, both air forces, from the LNA, the Libyan National Army, which is headed by the so-called strongman, General Khalifa Haftar, and also the GNA, the Government of National Accord, which is basically the UN-backed government in Tripoli that has the Prime Minister of Fayed Al-Sarraj. That first name might be off. Fayez, not Fayed. Al-Sarraj is the Prime Minister of the GNA, the Government of National Accord, which is, has been backed by the UN, appointed by the UN. So that's where the airstrike was today, and let me just kind of quickly show you that. And then they show the actual airstrike. It's pretty unreal.
At Mitiga Airport in Tripoli's eastern suburbs.
And that's been shut down, at least temporarily.
Suspended as a result. Previous fighting has been taking place.
And that's the former Tripoli International Airport that has been disused, which General Haftar claims to control, and the fighting continues to rage around that. It's badly damaged, so I don't even know if it's possible to conduct airstrikes from that, if it's a functional airport or not. I suspect it's not, but I believe he's, probably intending to get it repaired as quickly as possible and make it at least partially functional. Where they're launching airstrikes from, the GNA and the LNA, the Libyan National Army, is beyond me. I guess there's probably an airport in the eastern part of the country in Benghazi that he's launching from, but I don't know how far Benghazi is from Tripoli. But I don't know where the GNA has been launching their airstrikes from. I assume they're not using the civilian airport, but possibly they are. And if they were, then I don't know. I don't know what that means now that it's been attacked by Haftar and is at least temporarily shut down. Here is the video of some of the airstrikes. It's pretty unreal.
Airport in the Libyan capital Tripoli, after Haftar's aircraft raided the runway in the airport. Also, sources at Mitiga International Airport say that the anti-aircraft, they try to target the aircraft with anti-aircraft missiles. In the area around the Mitiga airport, civilians there are terrified immediately after this airstrike.
All right, but you also see behind him, I assume that's Tripoli. He's filming from Tripoli. There's cars. It seems like there's some normal operation through much of the city probably. But the fighting continues to escalate, and I don't think this is this is probably going to get more intense before there's any kind of solution, and maybe it becomes a full-blown war. I don't know. We'll see. Anyways, so the fighting continues. There's actually some death toll numbers. On the GNA side, the health ministry said that 27 people had been killed so far, and that includes civilians. Actually, the World Health Organization said 2 doctors were killed trying to help the wounded in the city of Tripoli, and somebody from the UN basically said that emergency personnel are not being able to get into intense areas because of the fighting to help the wounded. Electricity has been a problem. Electric lines have been taken down, and power's out in parts of the city, much of the city, I believe. And I think the FNA, I'm sorry, not the FNA, the LNA, the Libyan National Army. Their side said 22 of their soldiers have been killed. Fighting continues to take place at the southern part of the city. I think there's a focus on that disused airport in the southern part of the city that's actually been non-functional, I think, since like 2014. Gaddafi was deposed in 2011, but fighting continues in that, around that airport in the southern part of Tripoli. At one point, General Haftar had claimed that he had seized that and was going to use it to launch airstrikes against, the GNA. And he had seized it, but then there were claims that they had already taken it back. But I don't think so. I think that's basically the fighting continues, but right now it remains under the LNA, General Haftar's control. And Peanut, get over here. And so the fighting continues, and the death tolls are already rising. It's now about 9:30 in the evening now. I don't know if the fighting probably slows down overnight, more likely than not. But it sounds like it's getting more and more intense. And in my opinion, I don't know. I'd say, basically the eastern part of the country is under General Haftar's control. He's now bearing down on the city. He's far from actually taking over it just yet, but it definitely seems like the momentum's in his direction. I saw another headline that he basically commands 85,000 troops. So it's not as though it's some small force, And they do have, various artillery. He has some. I think it remains in question whether I think the UAE had expressed backing, and there's the Russians deny that they've been helping him, but I think that they had helped him print money in Benghazi to basically, to help fund, so to provide some liquidity to his part of the country and help pay soldiers, pay people behind him. So, but with the dozens of other militias that basically exist throughout the country, each city kind of formed its own militia after Gaddafi went down, and their allegiance right now is for the GNA, but they're very fickle from what I understand. Peanut, get away from there. And, it's only a matter of time before, one or two of those or more start to peel off and seeing that their interests may lie with, siding up with the winner, which could be General Khalifa Haftar. And it wouldn't surprise me if the Prime Minister, Fayed Al-Sarraj, of the GNA, the Government of National Accord, starts to call for international help. It wouldn't shock me at all if that's what's next. But it definitely is getting serious. All right, so Peanut, come here. All right, well, that's the story there, man. Thanks for watching my videos. Please subscribe to my channel. Give me a like down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Later, man.